Hello family and friends, it's Kanoi. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. And if you are returning, welcome back. You are very familiar with this big chunky monkey of a junk journal. I'm finally doing a flip through because I am done with it. I made this journal back in August and it is now November and I'm already done with it. So this measures, let's see, about roughly 8 inches by 10.5, and it has a, let's see, with an almost 3-inch spine, and I've got 4 signatures in it. I made myself a little tassel here with a bunch of beads and buttons and all kinds of vintage, new, all kinds of different things. Okay. It was made out of a large little golden book. I do have a tutorial on how I made it and the process when I did make it. So this closure is just made out of some seam binding. I have a little bulldog clip and a key here. And that was created so that I could have some space to grow, which obviously I needed because I filled this well beyond the brim. So I left the inside blank just because I loved this image and I didn't want to compromise it. I probably could have done something here on the top at least, but I didn't, and it's okay. And on the front cover, just some embellishments, stickers. I have a large journal tag here, a little bindi title plate, and I did some journaling on the back of that. And this was kind of a work in progress. Like I worked on this and continued to add to it throughout my journaling journey. And this I created out of a book page. It's just an envelope where I did some journaling on coffee stained paper. And I'm not going to go into too much detail on everything just because I do have process videos on most of the pages in this journal. This is some mail that I got from my work, and I did some journaling with some photos. Most of my pages are photos and a little bit of writing here and there. I did do some journal style writing on other pages, but for the most part, this is a very visual journal, not chronological order, so I kind of skipped around all over the place. This was all about the Chick-fil-A ice cream cone because my kids and I are obsessed with them, and here's a little vintage image that I printed out that says ice cream on it. And here are some images, and I plan to continue to add to this, but these were just 2 images in particular that I printed out because they just spoke to my heart, and I felt like they were along the lines of kind of a dream home. And we were talking about moving, and I talked about this in the video that I did the process on, considering moving. And so those were kind of the images that I had in mind whenever I was thinking about moving. Here is a Morgan Harper Williams. Is that her name? Morgan Harper Williams. Morgan Harper, shoot. She makes all those really cute artworks on Instagram. And she actually said to screenshot, and this was one of the screenshots that I ended up getting. And it says, "I'm welcoming grace that reminds me I have not seen the end of love." And I love that. Here is a cluster. These were literally scraps on my desk that I just pulled together and sewed through it really quickly and made a little scrappy tag. One of the pages of the little golden book that I kept intact. And then this was a little card that my daughter got from her teacher during open house. And here's a photo of her on the first day of school. And this is from Little Bindi, this frame here. And this was just an image that I had printed out and made kind of like a little, almost a little taggy type of thing. Little Bindi. Lots of Little Bindi stuff in here. And then other printable doilies I got from other Etsy shops. And I'll try to link below all of the Etsy shops that I have frequented or that is present in this journal. And I apologize that I may not know exactly where everything came from because I don't buy things with the intention to be a promoter, but I do realize that people want to know where things came from. So I'm trying to find that balance. This was an applique that I found at an estate sale, an amazing estate sale that I actually have a haul on my channel about. And then this was from my daughter's open house, for her 2nd grade open house. And I just wanted to keep that because I thought it was really cute. If you're new to junk journaling, I have had some people starting to ask me what it's all about. So it really is what you make of it. It's kind of there are other names for it: smash book, art journal. It's kind of a catch-all. At least for me, it's a catch-all for memory keeping and for loose journaling and scrapbooking, I guess you could say. But it really has a lot of things that most people would probably throw away, like that. This is something I would have thrown away in the past, would not have kept, but I'm glad that I did. Like when I come back in here and I look through this journal, it's something that I'm so grateful that I still have. And I love going to antique shops and finding vintage ephemera and vintage things. And then I'm like, I wish I would have kept it. I used to have that when I was little. So this is kind of my way of keeping things so that when maybe my children look through this, or my grandchildren one day, they will say, that is so cool. I can't believe she had that back then. Okay, so this was just a pamphlet that we got at Omega Mart, and that's what I did this journaling entry on. And this is a flip out by Little Bindi. Just some photos of us at Omega Mart, and this was, I believe, our claim check for our bags or something. And then I just created a tag here. This was about my son's science project. And here was a scrap of I was fooling around with my, what do you call that thing? Die cut machine. I have never done any die cuts yet. And so I was kind of practicing, trying to get myself in the mood to do it. And I still haven't done it yet. Anyway, this was a reading. My daughter just suddenly, like, it clicked. She suddenly came home one day and kind of fell in love with reading. And so that's what I journaled about here with an old book page. Just some entries on my son's football game, a doily here, a note that I received in the mail from someone, and I kept the stamp from that. And this is actually an air freshener that I get every time I go through the drive-thru. We have free car washes here in Vegas, and so that is one of the air fresheners that I always pick up. And then this is, I was journaling one day and drinking this milky tea matcha latte, and I just wanted to keep the packaging of that because I thought that was kind of cool. And then one of my friends sent me this all about Rel's son. She was a famous surfer, and my daughter is sort of named after her. I mean, I've always loved her name, and so that's where I kind of got the idea of the name. It's just some Dove candy wrappers. This was an iron-on that I got at a thrift shop that I wanted to kind of test out to see if it would work with a heat gun, and sure enough, it did. Some playing cards that I got from Five Below. Just did some journaling here. And this was a big spread on a trip that I took for work, and so a lot of just little odds and ends that I got. I've got the key from my hotel. Lots of photos, baggage claim, airline tickets. Let's see. Lots and lots of photos. I did some journaling on a little card in here. And these were some of the cards that we picked up at this conference. So, it's, again, kind of some of the stuff that would end up like maybe in a junk drawer or even in the trash. So this is why I love keeping this stuff. I've always been a journaler. So, this kind of journaling just speaks to my heart. And I know it looks messy and crazy to some people. This is a little card that I got from work. And to other people, it may just be a little too out of sorts. But for me, this is my brain, a chaotic piece of love. That I feel like that's what my brain is. Here is an entry all about my daughter's cheerleading. She became a cheerleader this year. So I did some photos, and I've got some stickers in here. This is a very random page that I just kind of keep, this was the candle I was burning. I got this sticker. I think I got this sticker in a set, and I just liked it, and I wanted to just smack it on here. A visitor tag when I went to my daughter's school, and this was something that I had printed out for a friend and never used it. And just a brown paper bag where I, again, kept some more of those pieces from my conference for work. The book that I was currently reading, Daisy Jones and the Six. I like to keep a record of the books that I read, and you know, give a little synopsis or a loose book review. Here is another digital doily, another part of the book page. Here was an old children's book page that I used for this journal entry, which talked about the day that we watched my husband's plane land from Chick-fil-A. We were sitting waiting for him, and we happened to see his plane coming in, so I decided to film it, and he filmed it that same day, so it was kind of cool. These are one-a-day pages that are from the Flow Paper Lovers book. I think that's what it's called. And it just has a 1 through 31 and for the month of August, and it's just pretty. And so I just kept just a one thing per day, like what was important that day, a memory, a place we ate, something we did, something that happened. I mean, it's nothing too structured, but just a memory keeper. This is some Magic Spoon cereal. I love the boxes, so I just wanted to keep it. I was kind of going through this phase where I was eating Magic Spoon cereal, but now, I don't know, it's no longer in my taste buds. My taste buds are no longer happy with it. Went to the ER one day with our neighbor, and so I kept the visitor tag and just did some journaling about that. Journaling about some of the dates my husband and I went on. Here's a digital doily. This is an old vintage card that I got from an estate sale, and again wrote about the book that I was reading. I've been doing more reading than I had been doing previously, so that I love books. These are some church notes that I took on some tracing paper and didn't want it to, you know, get lost in the shuffle, so I just stuck it in here on this belly band. Photo of my dog and some drawings from my daughter. Here is a fabric pocket and a card that I received from a friend that I just put in here. I like to keep these sometimes. I have in my other junk journal, I actually had a whole page of all of the chopsticks from the different restaurants that we had visited. And, you know, that I've stopped keeping them except when we go to new restaurants. So this is one of the new ones that we checked out. It's a Korean barbecue place, and I just journaled about that night. And this is just a piece of vellum that I believe I printed out. Some digital wallpaper from might be from Tailor Made Journals, I'm not sure, but I have several. And so I just printed out on vellum. One of my favorite things to do is to print vellum. And then I also love writing on vellum too. So I just use it as kind of a journaling space. And this was an old Planner Society bag that I had in my stash, and I just sewed through the middle and created a space for some journaling tags. And this was about my son's football game in a Cheesecake Factory gift card that someone gave to us. And again, more junk, right? Something you would throw away, but I kept this. I think I journaled. No, I didn't journal about it, but oh, see, now that I see who it's from, I remember why we got this. So it's just kind of a memento to keep. I would have forgotten about it. Another journaling card that I just put some collaging and a daughter of my family there. I mean, a photo of my family. And, you know, anywhere that I find space, I'll sometimes just jot some things down. And that's what I love about it. You know, you don't feel like you have to write a whole novel, or if you have an idea, you don't feel like you have to sit down and take the time to like write a whole thing out. It's just like, I got an idea, I'm going to write it down, and I do. This is a digital doily, a photo of me and my family at church, and then I just attached a piece of scrap vellum that I had floating around and did some journaling on that. And here was a little card that a friend sent to me, business card. And then this was a vintage children's music page that I did some art journaling on. You could call it Get Messy Art. I don't know. It's just some random, mixed media. Did some gesso. I've got, what is that? Tissue paper, some paint, stamping, all kinds of stuff. I did some hand lettering there, and then I've got some stickers and fussy cut a floral out. This is from Little Bindi. So, it's really, you can just kind of throw all kinds of things into the junk journal entries. Another digital doily and some vintage, not vintage, this is a digital ledger paper with a tag here from my porch prints. I'm not sure. Here's some tracing paper, another one of my favorite papers to write on. A candy bag that I just thought was so cute and wanted to keep that. A picture of my daughter when she got a little award at school. Another photo of my dog. This reminded me of my dog. This was a vintage card that I found at the estate sale. And so I just had some photos of my dog that I printed out. Look how cute that is. Love that. And then an Edith Holden book page, which I could not bring myself to do anything with because they're just so beautiful, and I love this writing and I love everything it says, and it's all about September, so I just kept it as is. Here are some little tokens that we got from my son's football game whenever we did made a donation to the charity that was at the football game. And so they gave us these little I was caught being good coins, and I just put them in this packaging and taped it on there. This was another page from the Flow Paper Lovers book, another one a day that I just, wrote some memories down. Here's another digital doily that I printed out on vellum, and I just simply taped it over this page because I didn't like the way it looked. So I felt like I needed something to visually make it look a little bit better than just writing on a piece of blank paper. This was all about the ice cream truck that came through our neighborhood, and so I just kind of collaged some stuff on there. Not my favorite entry, but it is what it is. These were some Jepsons that I coffee dyed from my husband's old flight manual, and made a little pocket out of it. So I've got some packaging here from some color pencils that I got, and an alteration tag with some tissue paper from my son's shoes. I mean, just so random, I know. But it was significant. And if you watch my process videos, you know why. Here's a glassine envelope that I did some collaging on, that I made a faux pocket, actually. There we go. This is a vintage postcard that I had and did some journaling on there. I was doing art with Susanna. I still have some classes that I need to go through, but I was following her lesson, and so this is what I came out with. Not the most beautiful thing, but I love it. And more about my son's football game, some hand lettering. Here's an envelope that what did I put inside? Some photos? Yeah, just some photos. And I'll usually write, let's see, did I write on the back? No, I didn't. These are probably photos of what I wrote about here. And then I just taped on some more packaging with another photo here of a vision that I had gotten, and my friend Rachel sent me this photo, and I was like, that's the vision that I just got. More collaging here on this page. Another glassine bag, and I did some swatching of some new metallic pens that I got. I love writing on black paper with metallic pens. Another book that I was reading. This was our October book club pick. Another digital doily, and I just did some collaging. This was about my pen pal letters, so then I actually put my pen pal letter in here, and more images of what my friend Rachel took whenever she received the letter. And then here's another Art with Suzanne page that I did on this, I believe it was the same day. I was just on a roll. I wanted to do some art. And here was a fabric scrap that I just bundled up and sewed onto this page. This is an old book page that I had that had the word beauty on here. And so this entry was about the day that my husband and I went up to Mount Charleston. We took the motorcycle up there. And so I did some stamping. I've got a little flower. This was the proof of payment when we went to have our lunch. You actually had to pay to have a picnic. This is some old packaging that I had cut out a heart from, and so I just kept the negative of it, and this was cute. These are some digital doors. I have a whole slew of them that I picked up from an Etsy shop. I will link that below as well. And I like to do this. I like to cut them along the edges and then have them where they open up. Right here on this Edith Holden book page that I finally covered. Another playing card that I picked up from the store. Just did some journaling there on this as well. And this was from a Johanna This was from one of her journaling kits, and this was actually intended to be like a washi strip and an image that you could journal with, but I actually kept it all in one piece. I printed it on vellum, and then I just taped it in so that I had this kind of little flap here. It worked out perfectly because this is called Boating on the Lake, and this is like a little lake with a boat. I don't know if I intended for that, but it just happened to work out that way. My son got baptized, so I journaled all about that. I colored in the children's music page with, I believe, pastels. I had picked up some new pastels, so I wanted to kind of test them out a little bit. This was all about a day we went hiking with my son's football team. So I just used little things that I had laying around. You know, I had some stickers. I had this leaf that came off of a tree that I have downstairs. It was laying on the floor, so I said, I can put that in my junk journal. A little quote that my son said one day, and I thought it was so cute, so I just stapled it onto this doily. Another one of those doors. And this is the other side of that bag. This was a scrap that I had hanging around. I believe this is from a curtain that I got from a thrift store, and it was just in my scrap box, and I just decided to put it on there. And then I just have some things that I like to keep. More journaling on vellum that I printed out. This is from the Granny Chic book, and this was the inspiration that I had for my gallery wall that I created, which is right here. So I wanted to put this in here so that I remembered that this is what, you know, kind of sparked the creative process. This is one of the creations that I did in Canva so that I could print out and frame, which I did. It's on my wall somewhere. There it is, right there. And then these are, you know, just pieces of ephemera that I got. This is actually from the Dollar Tree. These are some letters that I painted that say craft that are now on my wall. It's right here above all of this stuff. And then inside this pocket, because this is just a piece of scrapbook paper, some vintage fabric tabs. Oh yeah, I didn't even mention, I did have just some scraps. I use my scraps for tabs. That's what I like to do. I think this one was one I actually cut out. This was a scrap. This is a paper scrap. So I like to have a bunch of little tabs sticking out on my journals. Another letter from my pen pal. And these are some of the things that she created. This was a dim sum wrapper that we had when we went to dim sum. I just thought it was very cute, and I wanted to journal about our day at the dim sum cafe. Here's a day at the park. I took some photos of my daughter, just some labels that I printed out. Could be Little Bindi, could be another shop, I'm not sure. Here's a Starbucks label that I laminated and put a brat in so I could have that for an interactive piece. And that is Little Bindi right there. And this is from a calendar. This shows up a lot in my journals. This is just a fun night out that we had with our neighborhood friends. More, I think this is parchment paper or deli paper. This is deli paper. And I created a pocket here when I created this journal. Just a photo of my daughter, her Chick-fil-A bag. I guess I didn't do anything with this page. I probably could put something in here because I do have some things laying around. Where are they? Of course, I can never find them when I need them. I kind of wanted to wait. I thought I was done with this journal. Here's some more things that I got from my friends Robin and my friend Cheryl. No, this is both from Robin. Still trying to figure out what I'm going to create for Robin because she gave me the sweetest, most special gift ever. And here's another screenshot that I took of Morgan Harper Nichols. That's her name, Morgan Harper Nichols, right? Is that her? Somebody tell me. Let me know. And then I did some journaling along here, some stickers. This is a USPS envelope that I collaged on. And then I have a Little Bindi piece of one of her journaling kits in here that talks about our feelings. More collaging. Another this was a photo that Robin gave to me, and it worked out perfectly because I was able to journal about my cousin's funeral. It just kind of matched up really well. Some stickers, floral stickers. And this is just some packing paper that you get in your orders from Amazon. I got these from the Dollar Tree. These are prayer cards. They came with a bunch. I can't believe The Dollar Tree just trips me out. I don't know how they even make money. Some packaging from some prayer oils that my sister gave to me. And then I just created a vellum pocket. This wax paper is actually from Daiso. It comes in a little roll. It's actually for cooking or, you know, wrapping sandwiches or whatever. So, of course, I use it for junk journaling. Here is okay, so these are iron-ons that I found at a thrift store. A whole bunch of them, and I just, again, wanted to test it out, see if it worked out with the heat gun, which it did. This is a frame from Little Bindi that I, you know, talked about my daughter's jack-o'-lantern. I've got another letter from my friend Missy, another pen pal, some soap that a friend gave to me, and I just kept the packaging because it's special, you know, like this is a one-of-a-kind type of soap. It's not your everyday buy from Walmart or Target soap, so I wanted to keep that. And here's a little flip out from Little Bindi, her Halloween October kit, and I just put a picture of me and my family from Halloween, and this was one of the bags that I didn't put anything in it, that my children got from school, and just some photos from the Halloween era. Packaging from a donut shop that we went to, which is amazing. It's like a Hawaii company, Hawaii-based company. Oops, how did I do this? Oh, it goes this way. And their box is so cute from their donuts. More of the October Little Bindi kit, and I just did some journaling about my daughter's Halloween party at her school that I volunteered at. And then I have some entries in here about my daughter's gymnastics meets. And so I usually keep her scorecard because she doesn't really want them. So of course I'm going to keep them to remember how she scored. And I usually take a photo of her and then I talk about how she placed. So she's been doing really well, placing first, second, third overall, which has been awesome. This is a little piece of artwork she did in school. I just stapled that on a piece of vellum. I could probably do some journaling here. I just haven't done it. And this was the front side of a card that I didn't do anything on. I intended to do something on. This was all about our fall festival that we had here in our neighborhood, and they had a flyer, so I just cut out the lettering from that. These are some tickets from it, some photos. This was from a magazine, from the Mantra Wellness magazine, about how to reset. I just thought that was a fun page. Another scorecard that she got from one of her meets. And then this was when we went to the pumpkin patch at our orchard here in Vegas. And a tag from Your Creative Studio paper, Your Creative Studio, that I backed the photos on. This was the Your Creative Studio thank you card that they send. And I just put another photo of me and my daughter on the other side. Again, that vellum is blank. Glassine bag. And then I was doing some swatching of some new paints and pens that I had picked up. I just wanted to keep that. It's a glassine bag and a photo of my son and his grandpa, my father-in-law. They were here staying with us, so I just thought that was a sweet memory. He loves his grandpas. There's some journaling here, photos, another book that I'm reading or was reading. I think this was just, I was doing my Devos, looks like, on that little piece of notebook paper. Another book I was reading. Actually, this is the one I'm currently reading, so still reading that. A weekly plan from Little Bindi. And that was just that week and all the stuff that we had going on. I mean, this is what my weeks look like in general anyway, with all the kid stuff that's going on. This is from my son's band performance. This was the program that they gave out. And then I just did some journaling, some collaging. I had some vintage or faux vintage photos and a photo of him. This was my happy fall, whenever we turned over to the fall season, my decorating that I did outside my house. These are from Hobby Lobby. I just stapled those on. Just a really quick fall entry. Some tracing paper that I did over some messy art, Get Messy Art. I was just bored one day and wanted to do something. This was the other side of that envelope, and I just have some photos of my daughter. And this was, the little card that we put in the gifts that we gave to her teammates. Piece of ephemera here. This was a digital from an Etsy shop from a long time ago that I printed out. It was like a fall kit. It's really cute. And then this was another letter from Cheryl, one of my pen pals from Canada. I love this envelope. I love this envelope. So cute. And again, and this is also from Cheryl. This was kind of her card that she, all about her. I'm not going to show her photo just because I don't know if she wants me to, but that was her. Some of the ephemera pieces that came in some of my pen pal letters. This was from a neighbor friend. She sent me a bouquet when I was not feeling well, and just the sweetest. And so I kept the package of the plant food. This was an old piece of lace that I got from a thrift shop. Here was the bouquet of flowers. So I like to take photos of flowers whenever I receive them. So, when they do die, I don't feel bad about it because at least I have the memory. Did some journaling. This was a digital from, I don't know, tailor-made journals maybe, that I printed on photo paper. This is some scrapbook paper. So I just did some journaling on that. I was practicing my sewing on this card here. More journaling here. I didn't do anything on this page. This was some coffee stain paper that I got off Amazon, and I just journaled on that. This was part of the book. And some fabric from a dress. So this was actually just a strip that I cut out from an old dress that I had. I like to keep fabrics or some old clothing pieces. Not all of them, but some of them that I feel like would work in junk journals. And I kept this blank just because I love the Lord's Prayer and I love the image. I thought it was very sweet. An entry on my daughter's cheerleading. Here was the night that SpaceX launched. I got a photo of that. And so I just put that on an old book page from a Stars book that I have. A glassine bag. Another photo of my son with his grandpa. This is Barnes & Noble coffee cup sleeve. This was a flyer from my daughter's cheerleading. I'm going to keep that. An old vintage postcard that I just did some journaling on. This was, I believe this one came from that estate sale. And then I didn't do anything with this mixed media paper. On this side, I kind of did. This is all about the day my son went to the Raiders game with his friend. This is a card from Brenna. And I still have to, Brenna makes cards. So cute. I still have to make something for her. She's another pen pal. I'm so bad. So bad at pen paling. Nothing in this pocket here. Here was a collage that I did. Again, I was just bored and I felt like doing some collaging. So I did. Let's see, and it kind of rolled over onto this page, which was kind of cool. I liked it. Here's when I was practicing shooting before I went to get my CCW license, which was here, not license, permit. This was the shooting target that I did. And then more of the book page, a picture that my daughter drew, another one of her meets, her gymnastics meets. And then this was a Flow Paper Lovers book page. And I like that it said this is beep hot, darn hot, or dang hot, or however you want to do it. I was just talking about how it was still so hot. This was September 1st. It was so hot here in Vegas. And it's cold now, and I'm so happy because I'm like a snow bunny. I love cold weather. More journaling here, and then a photo of when we went up into the high roller here in Vegas, which is that big Ferris wheel. Here is some art with Suzanne that I completed. A photo of me and my husband on the high roller. And then this was the high roller entry. These were our tickets. I just put them into a little pocket here. And I have a tag that I cut out, fabric scrap. Some journaling on, this is a digital wallpaper. I think TaylorMade journals, I'm not sure. And then this is also another one. And then the back of this back cover, I just have some photos of my dog. I actually meant to keep this in one photo, but I was going so fast that I ended up cutting them all up. And so that's okay. Now I have 4 cute photos of my dog. So I just put them in this little pocket here. This was like a 1 page of Heidi Swap from her, whatever her memory books, whenever she did those. I like how it has all of these little small squares of the photo holders. So I just cut it out and I used some double-sided tape to put that on the back cover. So that is it. This was like less than 3 months worth of journaling. Probably my favorite journal, I would say, so far. I feel like obviously my style has changed a lot, and still very eclectic, still very messy, but I love it. And I think I've become a lot more visual with my journaling and a little bit more intentional, I guess you could say. So that was the end of that. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. I would love to see you hear more. If you are new, please subscribe. I'll be making a new journal, so I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do yet. I love this size. I'm going to mourn this journal because I did love it, but I'm excited to start a new one. So